So it's 2021 and it's the new year. Maybe you're starting out a brand new YouTube channel, or maybe you've been running a YouTube channel for the past 5 years. Well, today I've been thinking about all the new gear, and let's go over some of the equipment that I'm personally using, because I get asked that question a lot. What am I using in the form of cameras? What am I using for my lights? So today we're going to go over that with Mike's Gear Part 1. First off, if you like these videos, hit the like button. It's just a simple little thing you can do for us. It lets YouTube know that you actually like this video, and it lets other people know that basically this video is good. So hit the like button if you can. If you really like our channel, hit the subscribe button. Again, we really appreciate everything you can do for us. Thanks a lot. So I started my channel off in 2020. Yeah, what a year to start off YouTube, right? And my channel's done fairly well. I mean, obviously in the first year, your channel grows slowly, and I've seen that. But along the way, I've accumulated some equipment, and I know a lot of people have actually asked me offline, hey Mike, what equipment are you using to do your YouTube channel with? What cameras, what lights, all that good stuff. So just thinking ahead of 2021, if you're just getting ready to start out a YouTube channel, let's go over some of the gear that I'm using. And we'll start with our cameras. So the camera I'm currently filming with is the Sony A7R4. And the reason I'm filming with that is that way I can show you the camera that I use the most when it comes to vlogging outdoors or when I go on assignments. One of the cameras I use is actually called the Sony ZV-1. I have the SmallRig cage actually put onto this as well. I just didn't want to take it off, but it shows you that you can actually add quite a bit of stuff to this. But this camera is great in 2021. So if you're getting ready to start out a brand new channel, we're going to discuss this camera and why I think you should be using the Sony ZV-1 to produce video content. So when I'm out running around and I want to whip out a camera really quick, well, sometimes these big cameras like the Sony A7R4, they're a little bit large and you got to put them on a gimbal and everything. But the nice thing is I can pull this camera out, it's nice and small, and I can get fantastic stabilized footage. Stabilized as in stabilized with a gimbal? Yeah, I can actually stabilize this footage almost gimbal quality without having a gimbal on the camera. What? Yes, the Sony ZV-1 actually has stabilization built into it. It has two modes. You can actually put it into an active mode, and you can put it into more or less a passive mode. But the active mode does great. It actually stabilizes the footage very well. The only issue is that it actually crops in the lens a little bit, so you get just a little bit more tighter shot on your face. A lot of people don't necessarily like that. I mean, there are ways around this, but that's one way you can actually capture stabilized footage out of the camera. So one way I can actually use the stabilized footage for out of the camera shots with the Sony ZV-1 is I purchased this little stick here. It's a selfie stick, and it allows me to attach the ZV-1 to this. And now I can actually push this further away from my face so that I can run this in the active crop mode and still get a nice shot of my face without basically looking at my pores. But sometimes when you have a selfie stick and you're in public, walking around, you look kind of like one of those weirdos. Some people are uncomfortable with that. I've kind of gotten used to it. But if that does make you feel uncomfortable, there's another way that you can actually capture footage and not have to use any stabilization at all. So the Sony ZV-1 has a little trick up its sleeve, and this is really cool that Sony did this. A lot of the higher end cameras that come out from Sony, mainly the A7R3, those cameras actually have little gyroscopes that actually record that data into the film footage. So the nice thing about recording gyroscopic data is that I can take software, and Sony happens to have this software, and I can read that gyroscopic data and I can stabilize the footage without using a gimbal. Yes, it crops it just a little bit, but you can actually adjust how much that crop is. The nice thing is that the Sony A7R3 and some of the higher end cameras that Sony has, I think they run about $3,500 for the Sony A7R3. I think that's the starting price. But the Sony ZV-1 has all those features built into it for $800. Nice. So the nice thing is I can take advantage of gyroscopic data in this camera and get really fantastic stabilized footage using the Sony's free software called Catalyst Browse. And one of these days I'm going to actually do a video showing you how to use Catalyst Browse to actually get this stabilization. So hang tight, subscribe to my channel, and you'll probably see it later on. But anyway, it comes with this camera that's just built into the camera, the gyroscopic data, and that's a neat feature. I mean, the Sony a7R IV that I'm currently shooting with doesn't have that built into it. So I have to put that onto a nice gimbal to get that nice steady footage. Pretty cool that the ZV-1 has that feature built right into it. Another feature that the Sony ZV-1 has built into it is a feature called Product Showcase. And I know that sounds, whoa, what's Product Showcase? It's a nice feature that whenever you bring something up to the lens, it literally will not lock onto the human face. It actually gets a nice and crisp video of the product you're trying to showcase, and it blurs out the background so you can truly showcase that product. It's a great feature. It's built into the camera. You just turn it off or on, boom, you're done. I've used this several times in some of the food videos I produce when I'm trying to showcase some of the food that these restaurants are showing us, and it's just a nice way to actually zoom in nice and close and show off the product. Again, it's built right into the camera. Another critical thing about starting a YouTube channel in 2021 is don't forget you have to have good audio. A lot of people will just put their cell phone out there and they'll start recording. And what will happen is you get echoes in the rooms around you. Having a really good mic helps so much in alleviating that echo. And of course, having any type of cover on that mic helps as well, in that you won't get all that wind blowing through there when you're outside. So another thing the ZV-1 has is an exceptional mic built onto the top of the camera. That mic also comes with what they call a dead cat. In this case, it's a very teeny tiny dead cat, and yeah, the name's appropriate, but it lays on top of the camera so that any type of wind that actually blows through the mic, you don't get that huffing windy noise. So it's a great feature built right into the camera, so you don't necessarily have to have a fancy mic on this camera. So me being the audio freak that I am, I love to put a better mic on there just because I think they get a little bit better sound. So I end up using the Rode Wireless Go. I actually attached this to the camera. I think it's about 200 bucks for these little jewels. I attach one end to the camera and plug it into the camera, and it's wireless. I can attach the other one directly onto my clothing, like this, and I can start talking. Another thing I like to do is I take a lavalier mic such as this, I attach this to my person, and you literally take the Rode Wireless Go, you plug this into it, and now you have fantastic audio that's wireless. It's just another neat feature that you can do with this camera, and the other piece of this just plugs right into the Sony ZV-1. It's nice, gives you great crisp audio, and it's fairly inexpensive. So what if you want to go into a low light situation or into a studio such as this and film a video where you're doing tutorials or things like this? So, Mike, I don't have a lot of money. I don't have enough to buy two cameras. And, I know you're using a Sony a7R IV, so you're kind of cheating. So how does the ZV-1 work in a studio situation such as this? That's a great question. We're going to check that out right about now. So here you go. This is the Sony ZV-1. I've actually got this basically in auto mode. A couple of tweaks on here, but nothing major. Got the audio. The mic is actually coming in directly to the ZV-1, so you can actually hear what it sounds like. Another nice thing about the ZV-1, it's got a nice little red light on the front of it to let me know that it's recording, so there's no guessing. I know I'm being filmed right now. So again, this is the Sony ZV-1 in a studio setting. So can you use it in a studio setting to show off products and just kind of have a fireside chat with people? Absolutely. So you can see this camera is great for multiple things, and I've actually used it for more than just shooting in a studio or shooting in the streets and such. I've actually used this camera for getting extra B-roll or as a second camera in my studio so I can get different angles. It's just a nice way to set up a fantastic quality camera in my studio to pick up different angles that I typically wouldn't get. Again, fantastic footage. What do you guys think about the footage coming from the ZV-1 compared to the Sony a7R IV that I was shooting earlier? So yeah, the Sony ZV-1 is a great all-around video camera. I wouldn't necessarily use this for photography. It does a good job, but this is built as a video machine, plain and simple. So there you have it. So you're wanting to set up a brand new YouTube channel in 2021? I think that I would go with the Sony ZV-1. It's a great camera. It's inexpensive. I think it's running about $800 these days. And believe me, when it comes to cameras, that's fairly inexpensive. It has a bunch of features built into it, like the product showcase, great audio. It has stabilization built into it. You can also do gimbal quality stabilization using the gyroscopes built in this camera. So all in all, in 2021, this camera is fantastic for content creators, whether new or old. I highly recommend this camera. As you can see, I've been using it quite a bit over the summer and of course into the fall of this year. So there you have it, one of my favorite cameras of 2021. Like I said, you can't go wrong without it. I think you guys can see the difference now between it and the Sony a7R4. So right now I don't have a lot to compare it against other than the Sony a7R4, but it gives you an idea of what you can expect from this camera. And personally, I think the quality is fantastic. So great camera, great price, lots of fun. 2021, folks, let's get the YouTube channels going. So if you're new to YouTube, welcome you. I hope you enjoy these videos, and if really would appreciate it if you subscribe and hit the like button. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate you guys stopping by. Let me know what you think about this review in the comments below. I'm going to be going through a couple of other reviews on this camera, showing some of the settings I use. I like to show off how to do the stabilization with the software that the Sony provides for free, and you'll see those in upcoming videos. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again, guys, for taking a little bit of time out and watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I have nothing else to say. So I'll see you guys in my next video, but for now, bye-bye.